What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So it's currently 9:30 in the morning. Been up for about the past hour, just drinking coffee, getting up, drinking water, all that good stuff, eating a little bit, getting ready to go to the gym, fixing to head off and test my strengths on different muscles with like the back, shoulder, chest, everything like that with some of the bigger lifts. So I'm going to do that today because I just want to get in like a good heavy lift session. And then after that, I'm going to be doing a little bit of training, a little bit of like rehab work. So I'm going to show you guys all of that today. I am going to start doing like this more day in the lifestyle video to show you guys more of what I do all the time, get more videos, get more content out. So they might not be as, produced as what I try and normally do, but I am going to try and still keep some of that in there, but also, not spend so much time on it so that way I can get more videos out. But that's enough talking for now. Gonna go ahead, head off to the gym, and then it should be a pretty good day today. All right, just got done with the workout, about to leave the gym now. Really good, hit some really good numbers. I felt good about that one. I've been trying to get my strength back up because while I was in season with Royal Palms, I just didn't get to do that much heavy lifting because we had so many games there at the end that like my main focus was just on staying ready for the games. So I didn't get to do too much like heavy lifting, but today was good. Only one exercise per muscle group, but I wanted to focus on like pure strength and power on all of those. So it was really good because the past couple workouts, I've been working on hitting like all the smaller areas and everything. So this one was good. But now I'm gonna go ahead and head home. I'm not sure whether I'm going to train first or eat first. I'll have to figure that out. But either way, fixing to head back home. Overall, really good session. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and go outside and train before I eat, just because I'm feeling good and I don't feel like having to wait for the food to settle and everything. I just want to go ahead and get it done. Now, what I'm doing today is I'm just going out in the backyard. We've got a shed that's good for wall passes and everything, because I am recovering from a little small injury that I picked up. So the week leading up to tryouts, which was about 8 days ago now, I believe, that whole week I was just doing so much training. Really, I've been doing so much training for the past year. I haven't taken any time off. The most I've taken off was 1 week. I took, I think, 4 days off. But other than that, that's it. I haven't had any days off. I've been going hard. And that week, I think it was just too much strain on my groin. I think it stemmed from my hip flexor being too tight. That's what I've been hearing. So I took all of last week off to stretch it, ice it, massage it, all that stuff to make sure it didn't get worse. It was like a grade 1, just slight little strain. I wouldn't even call it a pull. It was just a little strain on my adductor. So I took that time off to be smart. I don't want to make anything worse, especially with the season coming up in the USL2. I want to make sure I'm being smart, listening to my body. So today I'm going to be doing a lot of warm-up exercises. Then I'm going to be doing some band work just to make sure my hips, groin, all of those areas of my body are nice and warmed up before I get started. And then it's going to be a very light session. I'm just going to see how the groin feels. If there's any kind of sharp pain or anything, I'm going to stop. But I did test it out Saturday by doing some juggling and a little bit of dribbling, and it felt pretty good. So hopefully it feels even better today. And that's the thing about playing that at a higher level and keep moving on. Your training sessions and everything are going to become more intense, and you're going to be doing it for a longer span of time. So it's so important to listen to your body, because if you play through a small pain, that small pain could end up turning into a very bad pull, like a grade 2 or even a grade 3, where you could be out for weeks, maybe even months. So it's smarter, especially if you're in an off season, to just take a week or 2 off and do proper recovery and rehab to build up strength slowly, and don't rush back into it. Or just if you don't stop at all, then you will make it even worse. So I'm going to go ahead, train, see how it feels. Hopefully it feels pretty good, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so whenever I first started off this session, I did a very long warm-up. So I did about 5 minutes of just very light jogging. Then I moved into some dynamic stretching, hitting all of the areas of my lower body. And then I moved straight into what you're seeing right now, which is the band work, just to make sure I'm getting my groin, my hip flexors, and all of those areas nice and fired up, to make sure that they're nice and warm before we get started into the session. Now, like I said, this is going to be a very light session because I still am coming back from injury. I'm nowhere near 100%, probably not even 50% here. So everything that I'm doing is just very light, and all of the drills and exercises that I'm doing are very light on my groin. So most of this is just juggling and wall passes and whatnot, which isn't really too strenuous on my groin, and I felt pretty comfortable doing this. So I'm going to let this play out, and then I'll pick you guys back up. So as you can see here, just starting off with some very light juggling just to go ahead and work on getting my touch back up. Then right after this, I moved into some wall juggles. This, I start off with 3 touches. As soon as I hit 20, I then move into 2 touch. And I'm going to let this whole clip play out. This was actually pretty good. This was my, I think, first or second try at doing this. So my touch, wasn't too rusty. I thought after taking a whole week off last week that it was gonna be worse, but it actually wasn't too bad. But I'm going to go ahead and let this play out. Now I'm moving into some one touch, very simple. Felt pretty good, not too bad. Touches definitely weren't too sharp, a little rusty on this one, but overall not too bad. Now I went into some very, very light one touch passing. Here you can see it's very slow. I was just making sure that I wasn't doing any sharp movements with my groin because that's whenever I could feel some sort of pain. Then I moved into some two touch and this felt pretty good. Not too much pain here, but again, I was keeping it really slow just so that way I could ease my way back into it. I didn't want to go like straight into it and possibly make it worse. As soon as I was finished with that, I just would take the ball, throw it at the wall, and work on controlling it. Now, usually whenever I do this, I try and kick it at the wall, so that way it makes it a little bit harder for me to control because it's coming a lot quicker, and it helps me work on hitting some like aerial passes and everything. But again, I wasn't trying to do anything too strenuous on my groin. So I just did this for a long time, worked on either controlling it to the ground or keeping it up for the entire time. So I did this to finish it out, and that was the session. Okay, now that I'm done with my lunch, technically second breakfast, I'm fixing to go ahead and do some foam rolling, some light stretching, and some massage work just to keep my groin and my hip flexor and all that area nice and loose. After the training session today, it feels really good. I pretty much had zero pain. The only time I had any kind of pain was whenever I would go to really stretch or something like that. But other than that, it felt really good. I did some jogging at the beginning and the end. I did, all the different light drills that you saw. I'm a little bit rusty. I'm still trying to get my touch back and everything. So it was very, very light. But hopefully by the end of this week, I'll be close to about like 50, 60, 70%. Somewhere in there is what I'm hoping for. And then I'm hoping by the start of next week, I'll be close to about 80, 90%. And then by the end of that week, I'm hoping to be 100% fit. So thankfully, this was just a very minor, like little pull strain. So nothing really to worry about. I wasn't, stressed out or anything. I just knew I was going to have to take some time off and work on rebuilding everything up. But it felt pretty good. But that's probably going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. I'm going to try and keep doing more videos like this just to show you guys really what a day in the life is. The only thing I've got going on for the rest of today is, like I said, like some stretching, foam rolling. I'll probably go outside, read a little bit, you know, just take some off time. Then I'll probably come back in here, do some more graphic designing stuff that I got to get done and everything like that. So pretty much all the big work that I got to do has been done. So I got a really early start on it this morning, so it feels good to be done now. So that's all I've got going on for the rest of the day, but that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.